Hi viewers, now we are going to continue the step 3. First two steps we have seen in the first part of the root locus, and in this we are going to see the third step. Okay, so third step is to find the angle of asymptotes and centroid. 1, 2, 3. Three steps are common for every problem. From fourth step, according to problem, it changes. Okay, so now you should remember the formulas for this angle of asymptote and centroid. Angle of asymptotes formula is plus or minus 180 degrees into 2q plus 1 by n minus m, and centroid formula is sum of poles minus sum of zeros by n minus m. This small n, it is indication of number of poles, and small m is number of zeros. So now here let us see our first problem. In our first problem we have 1, 2, 3 poles and no zeros. So that's why I wrote n. n is 3 and m is 0 in our first problem. In our first problem, n is 3 and m is 0. So now according to formula, angle of asymptotes I wrote, and first when q is equals to 0. If you substitute q is equals to 0, 0. So plus or minus 180 degrees into 1 divided by n is 3 and m is 0. M for zeros. In our first problem there are no zeros, that's why m is 0, and poles are 3, so that's why n is equals to 3. So it is given as plus or minus 180 degrees by 3, so it becomes plus or minus 60 degrees. And when q is equals to 1, you are going to get plus or minus 180 degrees into, if q is equals to 1, 2 into 1 is 2 into 1 plus 1. So 3 by 3 is plus or minus 180 degrees. So you get the doubt that, so here I should write q is from 0, 1, 2 and so on. So how many q values you should take? Remember one thing, here you know n and m. n minus m is 3. So what is the value of this n minus 1, n minus m? That many angles you are going to get. See here you have plus or minus 60 degrees means plus 60 degrees is one angle, plus 60 degrees is one angle, minus 60 degrees is one angle, and I am saying that plus or minus 180 degrees is one angle. Why? Because see here in this axis, in this real axis, plus 180 degrees and minus 180 degrees, it is a straight line. Okay, so I am considering this as for the only one angle. So centroid, we have to determine the centroid. Centroid formula is sum of poles minus sum of zeros by n minus m. So in our problem, first problem, poles are addition of poles, sum of poles 0, minus 2, minus 4, and then zeros are no zeros are there. So I wrote like 0, minus 2, minus 4 and 0 divided by 3. So this is minus 2. Okay, so see here for the first problem, for this first problem, yes, for this first problem I got angle of asymptotes as well as the centroid for this k by s into s plus 2 into s plus 4. For this I am calculating, for this problem this. Okay, see how to plot this in the graph. Take centroid is minus 2. So take your protractor and keep protractor at point minus 2, and you make the angles of plus 60 degrees and minus 60 degrees. See, if you keep the protractor like this, okay, so you are going to indicate somewhere the value of plus 60 degrees and minus 60 degrees. Plus 60 degrees and minus 60 degrees. This is a centroid. And this is asymptotes. Okay. So what do you mean by asymptotes? Means these are the lines. At infinity they are going to end. We don't know where they are going to end. These are the straight lines. Asymptote means straight lines which are going to end at the infinity. Okay. So this asymptotes and centroid value for k by s into s plus 2 into s plus 4. So again for this problem, k by s into s square plus 4s plus 13. Here number of poles are 3. There are no zeros. So here I calculated for this problem. Here see, n is 3 and m is 0 for this problem. For this problem, okay, see number of poles is 3 and there are no zeros. So same calculation of angle of asymptote, same formula. First q is equals to 0. So substitute plus or minus 60 degrees and q is equals to 1, you are going to get plus or minus 180 degrees. Before doing this, from here you got the idea for how many q values you should calculate. N minus m is 3 minus 0 means 3. For 3 angles you should get the values. Okay. So from q is equals to 0, I got 60 plus or minus 60 degrees. 2 angles plus 60 and minus 60. And for q is equals to 1, I got plus or minus 180 degrees. Okay. Calculation of centroid. So sum of poles minus sum of zeros by n minus m. N minus m is 3. And sum of poles and sum of zeros in second problem is, what are the poles? 0, minus 2 plus j3, minus 2 minus j3. And there are no zeros in this problem. Numerator, right? So I am writing 0 minus 2 plus j3, minus 2 minus j3, minus 0 by 3. So this plus j3 minus j3 get cancels, and it is minus 4 by 3 is minus 1.33. So minus 1.33 is the centroid. Just I will take this. Minus 1.33. It will be approximately here. This value is minus 1.33. It is a centroid. Okay, we got minus 1.33 here. It is a centroid. From this you have to draw plus or minus 60 degrees. So plus or minus 60 degrees, keep the protractor at 1.33 and you draw plus or minus 60 degrees. Okay, these are the asymptotes. And again for this problem, again we will calculate the angle of asymptotes and the centroid. Same. See at this problem, number of poles is 1, 2 and 3. Is it so? Minus 2 plus j 2.4 and P3 is minus 2 minus j 2.64. And one 0 is there here. See in numerator, s plus 9, no? So z1 is minus 9. Already we discussed in part 1. So now this becomes the m. M is 1. N is 1, 2, 3. Number of poles. So that's what I mentioned here. N is 3 and m is 1. So for this problem, you calculate angle of asymptotes. Angle of asymptotes formula is plus or minus 180 degrees into when q is equals to 0. 1 by n is 3. 1, 2, 3 poles. And m is 1, 0 is there. So 3 minus 1, it becomes 2 and plus or minus 90 degrees. As you observe here, 3 minus 1, n minus m, we got 2. So you are going to get 2 angles. So anyway, we got here 2 angles now, plus 90 degrees and minus 90 degrees. You can stop here. Okay. So and again you calculate the centroid. So centroid is sum of poles minus sum of zeros by 2. Sum of poles 0 minus 2 plus j 2.64 minus 2 minus j 2.64 divided by 2. Okay. So here one point, minus sum of zeros. The formula is sum of poles minus sum of zeros by n minus m. Don't confuse here. Minus you keep as it is. Sum of zeros means what is 0?